Hey everybody, we're Engineer, bringing you yet another StarCraft commentary. Final match of Group C in the Lost Saga MSL. Gonna see how all this stuff continues, and there's Firebird here spraying some red goo bee flower petals. I don't know, whatever it is. And as I have predicted, well, not really predicted, just a thought, maybe. Every single match in this group is a TVP. So, Fantasy beat Tempest, lost to Jangbi, so he's here. Tempest lost to Fantasy, beat Iris, now he's here. And we're going to have a rematch now between these two guys. And we're going to see how it all turns out. It'll be interesting. We're going to see if Tempest has learned from his mistakes, learned from the harassment style of Fantasy, and as he showed in the Iris game. We're going to see. CC. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And we're going to see what kind of build Fantasy goes for. We're just going to try to go for another long game, although, I don't know. It's going to be on Carthage, a fairly new map. I don't think we've had a TVP on this map yet. I've had some Zerg matches, and Zerg definitely like this map. It's a map that allows a lot of maneuverability. Theoretically, wow, okay. Early probe from Tempest. Very, very, very early probe from Tempest. We're going to see some cheese! This is actually be a very good idea from Tempest, because this is a fairly new map, and Fantasy might not be expecting this. This map, I don't think Fantasy probably hasn't even played on this map before. I mean, not in the real game. And Tempest could have practiced very heavily for this, and definitely going to see some cheese. Just really look forward to seeing where he plants this. Map, of course, could allow for this, the 2-player map only, but I think Fantasy should definitely put it out, and he's going to put this right there. Pylon. And we're going to see what he goes for an absolute all-in. This wasn't very, very early approach. This could be an absolute all-in rush here. Meanwhile, Fantasy seems to be just going for standard supply depot inside of his base, no scout out. Maybe he's just going to build a barracks before he sends a scout out, and he's not going to spot this at all. But now, okay, now scout has been sent out. We're going to see whether he spots this or not. What path he takes. Nope, he's probably not going to spot this. He's going to send this right downwards in Tempest base, and that's going to see that Tempest has something in store for him. A girl again ducking there, and the SCV. Okay, no, he's actually moving it back. Maybe he sent that SCV there just to check for some sort of cheese, and he apparently is building a barracks now. Yes, he is building a barracks. He was checking if there was some sort of cheese inside of his natural. Meanwhile, 2 gateways now coming up, and Tempest now moving out that probe. He's going to see that 1 barracks, and he's going to know that he's ready. He's going to try to prevent that barracks as long as he can. He's going to harass that SCV. You're going to see whether he can kill it. Whether another SCV now moving in, definitely going to prevent that probe from killing the other SCV. Now that probe's just going to run around, try to be a pain in the ass. First gateway now down. The second gateway is going to be down in minutes, and we're going to see 2 Zealots run out of there instantly and try to do some serious damage. Barracks is now ready to go. The probe's still running around harassing. And I definitely think Fantasy is just in such huge trouble now. There's 2 gateways already. We're just going to see Zealots running around that 1 barracks just there. And Fantasy hasn't scouted this at all. Tempest is in just such advantage right now. It's going to be horrible for Fantasy. First Zealot now is out. He's going to send in 1 at a time. Just second Zealot should be out. Now a factory coming down. Oh, a factory coming down and just 1 Marine being built. That Zealot's going to run in there and do some heavy damage. First Zealot is now in. We're going to see whether Fantasy now will be forced to send an SCV out there to check for some sort of stuff. That SCV that's building the factory probably going to get taken down. And now Marine is out there as well, and wow, SCV just being sent downwards completely. I don't know if he actually saw the gateway or not. Might have been ignoring that CUCV for a second, but just ran right past. But I think Fantasy at this point should know this coming. A second Zealot now running in, and more Zealots going to be running in very soon. That SCV is trying to build the factory is going to go down. And wow, just more Zealots now running in, and Tempest doing what he does best, showing us when he does something funky. He's very good at these cheesy builds. Factory's still not down, nothing but Marines coming his way, and he's just killing SCVs left and right. 3 Zealots, a 4th Zealot should be coming very soon. Just nothing but Marines to defend, and just desperately trying to get that factory, trying to get some ultras. 4 Zealots now, Marines all being slaughtered, a bunch of his SCVs again taken down, that factory just not being allowed to be built. Zealots completely surrounding that factory, preventing it from being built, and that's all the SCVs that try to go in for to try to build it all get taken down. Those Zealots are also going to just continue focus firing on all SCVs that try to take it down, and also going to just continue taking down. Meanwhile, a Cybernetics core and a gas being put down by Tempest, so apparently his rush is complete. He's just going to stick to these 5 Zealots, and then going to try to move in with some Dragoons as well. That factory is done, but it should be able to be taken down. And just some of those Zealots being focused on some of those CVs, are trying to kill more Zealots. Meanwhile, coming out from Marines that would be moving out, trying to do some counter damage. Fantasy desperately trying to move out. And, ooh, the factory gets folded up. Jeffrey gets taken down. But that, of course, means that he won't be able to go into Vultures. Just gets folded up with, like, 10 health or something now. Zealots gonna kill the rest of his SCVs. Almost nothing for Fantasy. He has a Forge, meanwhile, also coming up for Tempest. He's gonna try to put down some cannons inside of his main to prevent any cannon harassment, although I think there's nothing but a few SCVs coming in. There's a cannon now being built right inside the pylon line, so he's being very careful. Nothing but one SCV moving into his position now, and that's going to be completely, I think this is GG at this point. Fantasy with a perfect cheese build, just doing serious damage. The cannon is almost ready, nothing but an SCV moving in. Now one Vulture and a couple of Marines as well. That cannon is going to be ready in time, and those probes are going to survive. Bunker being put down, so Fantasy trying to do some sort of counter damage, trying to put down a bunker, trying to put those 2 Marines inside of there, but I definitely think those Zealots or those Dragoons are going to be able to move back in time, and those probes should be able to survive. There is a cannon there. Those probes just trying to engage, trying to make sure that, oh man, that bunker just barely doesn't go down in time. There's that Vulture there. That's going to be able to take out a lot of these probes though, so Fantasy trying to counter this as well as he can. He still has his CC going, although I don't know if he has any SCVs. The bunker does go down. I definitely think Tempest at this point should be moving with more forces. There's now Dragoon and all his Zealots now finally moving back. Those 2 gateways still there. Barracks being floated around, and the CC also being floated around. So no mining so far for Fantasy. Just gonna focus on this Nexus apparently, not gonna moving on those probe lines. There's a Dragoon, meanwhile, has not moved in. Dragoon gonna wait for some Zealot support before he engages these Marines and that Vulture, and now those Marines being put inside the bunker. The one Dragoon definitely not in position to engage. But with those Zealots there, that's going to be it. As soon as these ground forces get taken down, that's it. This is going to be Tempest's game. Probes actually moving out as well to engage. Probe and Barrage gets taken down. Marines get taken down. GG from Fantasy, and Fantasy is out of the MSL. And wow. Perfect cheese there by Tempest. Fantasy not spawning at all, not expecting it at all. Fantasy looking dejected and so disappointed with himself. Well, Fantasy still have a chance in the OSL, at least I can say that. Man, the guy looks very disappointed, and I'm not surprised. Just expecting a normal game, and Tempest obviously learned, don't play a normal game against Fantasy. Cheese the guy, and he does. So, interesting. We see Jangbi and Tempest moving onward. Whew. Big surprise. I think this is actually what the SC2GG board predicted. I think they predicted Jangbi and Tempest. So, pretty bad. Too bad for Fantasy. If this had been a normal macro game, I definitely think he should have won it, but too bad he didn't. So, GG guys. I'm a bit shocked, actually, but good play by Tempest. Nice cheese. So Jangbi and Tempest move out. Iris and Fantasy are out of this. All Tempest and Jangbi move onward. GG guys, wrenching out.